Today we are here in the studio at the JJC Vibes Podcast studio, and we are here with a very, very important guest. This time it's a very important guest. We brought her purposely for this episode and for this time because it's Mother's Day month. So we brought her here so she could talk to the mothers out there and to you who is a mother listening to this. I want to advise you wherever you are. I just got a text message from Bros J Sawyer that if you are going to watch this episode on TV or if you're listening to it, place an order from Bros J Sawyer and enjoy this episode with Bros J Sawyer. You will definitely want to watch another episode. Don't forget Bros J Sawyer is one of the best. It's second to none in the DMV. Try it and you thank me later. But let's dive to the matter of the day. So she came to America with a skill in her hand. Today she's the queen behind the busiest 24-hour salon. She's a wife, she's a mom, and she's a CEO as well. Who else can that be than Nadine, braiding CEO? And guys, welcome Nadine. Welcome. And Nadine, it's good that you speak English and French. You're from the French side, right?
I am, yes.
And you speak both languages. It's nice. So today we have you on our podcast to get to know the other side of Nadine because we just been hearing Nadine is was at Nadine braiding and you took over DMV and America at large when you went viral about doing 24 hours braiding. How did you even come to think of that?
The competition, that's simple. The competition is a race.
Yeah, I noticed that there are a lot of Cameroonians into braiding,
Yes.
a lot of Africans they're into braiding, but I think with you it's a different thing. You have structured in a different way. So how did you get into braiding? How did you come about braiding onto this level? Before this 19 now, how did you start?
Well, I came to America when I was 41. I came with the mind of going back to school, not really knowing what was on the other side of the world. And once you come here, you quickly realize that you need to survive.
Exactly.
And there was no two way that was presented to me. Everyone that I met told me, you have to go to the salon and do hair. That's the only way you can be financially independent. That's the only way you can be able to pay a rent, the roof over your head, and even pay back your debt. Because coming here as every African who comes here because first of all, we left home because we want a better life.
Of course.
So we went to a lot just to come here. And once you come here, you want to make sure that you pay all those debts first, and then you make sure that you get right with your paper. That means hire a lawyer, and that means money.
So you were able to go through all that by working as a braider.
Yes, I have really never done a job in my life apart doing hair. But I have to say that there was a time that I doubted that I was on the right business. I went out there and I did the home health care certificate.
The HHA.
HHA. And because in every business, it's always a slow season. And in those moments, if you don't know who you are and you haven't really find out your gift or what you're here for, you keep trying to touch every little things that you could do.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I quickly find out when I got my first client, it was an 8 years old child that gave me, he was autistic. I could not handle the case. When I was driving back home, I cried from DC to Maryland. I knew that was not my
That
calling.
wasn't for you.
And when I was going home, I called my husband and I said, "This is the last time. I'd rather do anything else, but HHA is not mine." Even when I was a child, I was my father wanted me to be a doctor. At that moment, I knew it was not meant for me.
Okay.
I was not going back to school, not for that.
Exactly. And talking about that, there is something that parents don't understand. They want to force their kids into careers that it's not for them. And most often you see people doing jobs that they don't enjoy doing. But for your case, it's different. I see you are the CEO, you are a braider, you run the business, you do adverts, you do promo, you are everything. The braiding is something that is what you enjoy doing.
You know, when I look back and I look at me when I was a child, God speak to us. God already has a plan for us. We just don't know it. We just don't know it. I loved doing hair when I was a child. I was braiding grasses. But me, I was lucky enough not to braid too much grasses because I have 6 younger sisters. So I was busy the whole weekend doing my sister hair. When I come back to school on Friday, I grab the first one. No, let's mama, let's tata Nadine. No, sit down. Let me do your hair. My mom will scream, "You just did your hair last week. It's still good." I said, "I saw a new hairstyle. I want to try it."
So this is passion for you.
So it was passion. And my uncle has a wife and she had that beautiful shop in the village. I used to go there on my break time. I used to go there and help her. So when I decided that it was what I was supposed to do in life, when I looked back, I realized that it was in me. Doing hair has been that passion. It only took the dollar to make it more, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, my first money that I make here, it was $35. The first client, when I went home, the first client was $35. I convert that money, I was the happiest person on earth.
Exactly.
I knew that I need to push this thing.
Wow.
I felt like, oh, this is my calling.
For all the moms out there, it's okay to push your kids to become doctors, to become whatever they want to become through school, like on holidays. It's very essential to put them to also learn a trade, something they can do, a skill, something they can do with their hands, even if it's just every Saturday. It might turn out that that thing that they learn during the holidays would be what would give them the life that you want them. So we have passed that area where your parents would beat their kids because they went playing.
They wanted to be lawyers.
Or they went. It's okay. Let them explore, and it's best when you explore and find that thing that you like, and then you can invest in the kids when they are very bad. I mean, Nadine here is a testimony to it. So Nadine, when you started this, did you when you said your first client was $35, did you immediately get a salon, or you did like have some people start in their basement or in their apartments? Is that how you started as well?
Well, I took my time to count. I went to 13 different shops in the DMV.
13?
13 different shops. I was looking for the busiest shop. This is a business where stylists does not have sentiment for you. They go where they can make it. I'm not working for you because you're my sister. I'm not working in your shop because we're from the same village. I'm working in that shop because I can pay my bills.
Wow.
So I went to different shops trying to find out where I can get the most money every week and also where you feel good. There are some places that your spirit does not feel at peace when you're there.
Yeah.
So even if it gives you so much money, you still can't stay there. But as a hustler, the first thing that will retain you in the braiding shop out there is the money. So yes, I went to those different shops trying to find out where I could make it. And the more was going around. I was good. The client was telling me, Nadine, you're good. Start on your own. Start in your house. Give me your number, which is something you don't do.
Exactly what I was about to ask you that. So I heard that once you're waiting for somebody, you can't talk to the clients or because
you can exchange personal information.
So because I was thinking, if I should be braided at Nadine's place and the client coming, I could say, okay, Nadine is charging $200 for this. I could take you to my house and do it for $100. So that is a rule that people don't have to. The brothers don't.
As a business owner, you spend so much money in the marketing trying to get those clients to you. And if every stylist can steal one of your clients and take them home and braid them easily like that, what will happen to your business? Everyone needs to go out there and get their own client. There's a lot of clients out there for everybody. Good. The strategy is what keeps your client.
Exactly. So let's go back to how you came about. When you went back to your drawing board, when you started going to the 13 shops, you discovered that you needed to start your own business.
I was pregnant for my first daughter. That's the main reason why I started going to shops. Not only I was not driving, I was heavily pregnant, and I just have to start. I felt like, okay, when I have my baby, now what am I supposed to do? I was afraid as a new mom. My mother, I was alone here. I was afraid that my daughter would get missing. I can't, even when I want to go to the bathroom, I have to take the baby in the bathroom and lock the door.
Oh.
Is that?
Yeah, that new mom.
That new mom was strong. The bonds was strong. There was nobody, like I said. So at that moment, I felt like if I had only 3 clients a week, I can survive. I can feed my child. I can pay my rent. That's how I stopped going to people's shops. I just gave them my number. I said, if you're busy, call me. I will just come and do the hair and go. Okay. So they call it nomad.
Nomad.
The nomad.
Yes.
That means you don't sit in anybody's shops.
Okay.
You give your number around. You tell them when you're busy, you call me for a specific hair and you give me the time, and I come and do it and I leave. So that's how I started doing it. When I didn't have a client out, maybe I have one at home. And I started going out there with my pregnancy. I would stand at the train station around 5 p.m. when people start getting off the train. I would give them the card. I would do it mostly on the Friday because on Friday people are happy. Mm-hmm. If you go there on Monday, they will slap you.
Yeah.
They will not even take your flyer, and that will discourage you. So on Friday, clients and people are happy. I'll hand them the flyer on Friday. And I will go to the people's big apartment. I will put the car, slide it under the door of apartment. I will go to church when the pastor is inside preaching. Me, I'm doing my own preaching on the people's car. I'll put the flyer right there on the door, not on the front.
Yeah.
I'll put on the door. So you must take my flyer before you open your car. It's either you drop on the floor or you drop inside your car. So that's what I was doing. That's how my phone started ringing.
And then you talk.
And I felt good. Start doing it home. Sometimes you could spend 1 week without a phone ringing. You think that maybe it's your uncle in the village that is doing something to you.
Your uncle is not doing nothing.
It's the truth of business. It's those moments will always make you feel like, let me just run away and do home healthcare. It's not my thing.
And if
just be patient.
Let me quote a quick example. Like I started this podcast, and there are days that I have made arrangement with guests and they don't show up.
Yes.
I try for almost a week, they don't show up, and I feel like maybe I just have to quit. And the moment I'm thinking I have to quit and my phone is ringing, oh, sorry, I haven't gotten back to you. When are you free so we can do it's like, oh my God, maybe this is God talking to me. Maybe this is a sign. But you out there you're starting on anything and you're thinking of giving up, don't give up. Just keep pushing, keep showing your face, it'll get better. I know there are moments where you feel like you don't want to do it no more. But those are the moments when you should be thinking of doing it the more. Yeah. So when you started take us to when you started the business already and the business was run. Nobody had thought about 24 hours because who in their right senses would think of doing braiding at night or going to braid their hair at night? Nobody would think of that. But how could Nadine, as a mom, at that time you already had a baby, right?
We launched 24 hours when I was, yeah, I just had my last daughter.
Wow.
Yes.
So you were a mother, full
I was pregnant. I was pregnant when we launched the 24 hours. That was February 29th, 2023.
23.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just last year. So how did you come about? How did you bring this idea? How was this idea born?
Because as a business owner, I told you, it's a competition. And when you own the business, when other people are sleeping, your mind is working. You're asking yourself, what am I missing? What is it that I can do that will make my business stand out from the one my neighbor is doing? We're practically doing the same thing already, okay? It's fine. We're doing the same service. But what is it that I can offer so that I can have 100 steps ahead of all the competition out there? This is serious because in the past 2 years, I think I have inspired over 400 stylists out there. To be honest, I don't know a lot. I know you know more than I do out there in the community because
they talk about you every day. People talk about you.
Yes.
People do talk about you. You have mentored a lot of people directly and indirectly, and right now you're mentoring other girls who are listening to us now. So it's really, really service that you're doing to the community. And for you to think 100 steps ahead.
Yeah, it was a suicide mission. It was actually a suicide mission. I felt that I was dying. I pushed it. It's not like a joke. I said, we started this business, we were opening the door at 9 a.m. We take the last client at 5 p.m. It was not okay. Because the client will call you and tell you she's in the traffic. You know that every government job out there closes at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So when you shut down your own business at 5 p.m., I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, that is the catch. That is the catch right there. So if they're going to work,
people go to work to make money and come and give you some. Then by the time they close their workplace, you're already closing your own.
That's dumb.
When are they supposed to give you that money?
Good question.
And as a parent, people want to use their day off to stay home with their family and do family things with them.
Yes.
Then that precious time is already taken by going to do my nails and my eyelashes and my hair. So you as a parent realize that the only day that you have during the week, you have to give that time again to make yourself okay to go to work the next day. When do you really have time to spend with your family? Then we start opening the shop at 5 a.m. Clients start loving it because they said, I can come at 5 a.m., get my hair done, and go to work at 8. Perfect. It put pressure on us. They loved it. They start coming at 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
They were parking their car outside at 3 a.m., waiting for the door to open. Then we push at 4 a.m. Then we see clients coming at 2 a.m., park in the parking lot, waiting for us to open at 4.
Oh, wow.
Then we said, what is this? That's how we said, okay, can we launch 24 hours and see? And that was also because the stylists also loved it, because stylists are also parents.
Yes.
They loved it because their husband was even also happy because they said, you work during the night, I work during the day. Always switch the shift. Then no more dropping my kids to the daycare. I can spend the day with my kids at home while my husband is at work. I can have the time to cook, clean, and when he come back to work at 5 p.m., I let him the kids and I go to the shop and work. By 2, 3 a.m., he comes and pick me up, or I go.
Wow.
Extra income.
Wow. You breaking it down now.
Yes.
It explains it in a different way. Now I see the bigger picture. Even after knowing that it was just a 24-hour shop, but I did not see the bigger picture. I see that you were not just making money for yourself, but you were trying to give every other person the opportunity to make money and to look good at the same time. So while people were looking beautiful, some were making money, and some were spending time with their family, and some were building a good home for their families because now there's time to spend with each other.
That's right.
Wow, that is a mega idea, and actually it did work. You break barriers with it. I saw you on TV. You break TikTok rules. People were traveling from New York to come to their hair. And tell me also, I noticed that people mostly talked about the time now that instead of a hair that was supposed to be done for 6 hours, she gets in there and she can do it for 2 hours and she's out.
Yes. People don't have time is money. It's sad. When you want to do something, you want to do it quick. Nobody want to go a place and even in the barber shop when you want to cut your hair, you don't want to sit there and wait for 2 hours. You get irritated. You want to leave. If you know a place that can take you right away, you will go there. Because when I have testimony of a client saying, I'd rather catch a flight and come to you and get my hair done and fly back. I'm like, I'm sure you have another business in Maryland. You can't just leave Atlanta and come and get your hair done. This is not right. This is not, I don't understand that. And she's like, I enjoyed it. I like to ride. I drive 4 hours just to come and get my hair done. I'm looking at her and I think that she's joking. But they don't want to sit for hours not doing anything.
It's tiring.
It's time. So to solve that issue, I put 2 people on the hair. You have to build a teamwork.
Yeah.
I worked in different shops and I have seen so many inconvenient. The way they work is a problem. Yeah. You need to put the client in the center. The client is the interest. We as a stylist, we come next. Without the client, we're nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
Without the client, you will not see me. So once you make sure that the strategy that you bring is for the client first, then our interest will come later. That works. We needed to put 2 people per hair so we can make sure that we have that job done quick and efficiently. In other shops, it's 1 person per hair. Right. And all stylists are sitting right there. The client is sitting, they're watching the client doing her hair. The colleague is doing it for 5, 6, 7 hours. Nobody comes to help. In my shop, it's called teamwork. We call it follow me, I follow you.
Wow.
So it's like a politic. Like we do groups.
Yes.
So when I take my client, I have followers.
Wow.
You follow me, I follow you the next hair you have. So we have that family ambience. My shop is not a place where you feel like you're a stranger. Most of the girls know each other.
Which is very
it's already it's warm in there. They feel at home. They feel welcomed.
Which is
they gather by tribe.
Wow, that is so nice. I can tell you have a group of people.
Yeah, I have all tribes.
Yeah, because they are not. And that is really, really good. It's so nice to know that you are giving this JJC's people who just cave in, most of them, they're able to raise money to pay for their lawyers, they're able to get their immigration, they're able to help out from the first day they came in, just knowing how to braid, which is very nice. I hear that people go to other salons and because at times they think that you just came, maybe you don't know yet, they don't want to put you immediately on the hair.
Yes.
But at Nadine's place, I have a little niece. Mm-hmm. She came and the first day she went to Nadine's place, the next day she was already on her hair. And I told her, no, that it doesn't work like that. You can't put it. She said, yeah, she's already on the hair. I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. And Nadine goes around to supervise and like this girl is very structured, and then boom, the 24 hours, and then boom, another shop, and then boom. So how many shops do you have and how many shops do you have right now?
We have 4 shops in the same shopping center.
And both shops are running 24 hours.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Oof. Okay, let's not talk again about the shop. Let's talk about you now. I made some findings and I discovered that we all come to America for greener pastures, and most women in our community, once they get here,
Yes.
the excitement or the achievement that they gain over time, it changes their African value, in the sense of it changes their respect for their husbands, and we end up having a lot of divorces. I mean, if you check the rates of divorce now in the African community, it's very rampant. It's getting really high because women, they come here and they start making money, and it gets them to the point where they change, they start changing the way they respect their husbands, and because they can afford it. So for you, when you hit your first million, how has that changed you as a mom and as a CEO? How do you manage being a mom, a wife, and a CEO? How do you balance that together?
Well, let me just start by saying that my husband is my direct assistant in my business. And I believe he is even the one behind our success.
Oh, wow.
Because it took him some time to accept, to understand my job. To be honest, it took me also a time to openly share the income and everything that was coming into the business.
Exactly.
To go in deep into the issue of the relationship falling apart.
Yeah.
I think it's because we have the influence of the family who is telling us home, oh, keep your money for yourself. Oh, mommy, I make $2,000 a week. Oh, ne lui dis pas tout. Garde l'autre sur toi, mets de côté.
Exactly.
So you cannot be in a relationship and you're hiding some of your income. It is not okay because it drains you apart.
They will come for you.
Especially,
I know they will come for you.
Now, listen, you know who you marry.
Yes.
In my case, I have been blessed. My first blessing is my husband.
Oh, wow.
Because if you have a man that does not drink, does not spend, does not smoke, he's even the one that holds me. Right? He knows how to manage finance.
Is he Bamileke?
Yes.
Ah, that's smart.
So he was doing IT. He was doing okay. But for me, when we started going viral and it was heavy on my shoulder, I went from $10 to $100. I needed him to be present in that business. Then I needed to be clear financially with him. I need to say, hey, look what you're bringing home. What I'm bringing a single day. This doesn't make sense. Quit this job. You know, I have to say, okay, let's go to the bank. Let me put your name on every bank account that I have, even though why you don't know.
Who advised you to do that? Because that must
Advice.
be something. I mean, it's
the maturity. We get mature. At a certain point, you look around you and you don't want to make the mistake that other people do. We get separate for things, for material things that we still ending up leaving them and leave this earth. You want to live your life with some. This America is so stressful.
It is.
You want someone to laugh with and to cry with. Yes. I'm a first child of my family. I have siblings, and they're looking up to me as a model. So breaking my home is it is not an option because all of them need to be in their husband's house. They're looking up to me, and from the moment you start sharing everything with your spouse or your partner, the fullest blessing comes.
Amen.
There are some blessings that God hold when you hold yourself from telling your spouse some things too. When my husband understood that we together can push this thing. And he saw that he was free to financially, he has the I give him the full power.
So why would
and I step back.
So why would I even still, if I have the power?
It is his.
Why would I even?
Then he started being the brain behind my business. He used the IT, bring it to the business. He use all the paper. He made it so great.
So
then he started calling my small shop a company.
Yeah, I mean that's a company.
Keep reminding me, stop calling me salon coiffure. C'est une entreprise, you know? C'est une entreprise. But I keep calling it salon coiffure because if you have something, even when it grows, it's like a child. Even when the daughter grows up, your child grows, you still look at it like your child. Your baby will never be grown enough. So people see it and say, "Oh, you have almost $400. Damn, this is too much. How do you do this?" And I'm like, I don't know. I do it every morning. It's a new challenge that I have to face, and me and my whole team. Because today we have over 20 people that are hired that works for me, from the cleaner to the laundry guy, the
security man,
the night shift security, the cashier, the customer service, those that just go around. It's a lot. All those, the team, they help build this business. They bring proposals and also client criticisms. Even stylists bring also ideas, because let me tell you, some of the stylists are very intelligent. We have we have teachers, we have lawyers, doctors, we have people from different backgrounds, and they come time to time and say, "Nadine, I think we should do this to avoid this. We think we should do this phase to help to solve this situation." So it has been a beautiful journey so far. But I can tell you, we women need to trust our husband. We need to financially be truthful with them if they can
reciprocate that.
Yeah, help. But like I say, if you know your spouse,
you know where they can help, you should bring them in
openly so they can give you their 100% support. This, whatever we're doing right now, is my husband's brain behind it.
Wow. You know, not a lot of women will sit somewhere and talk about their husbands like that. Kudos to us, man. I mean, if from what you're saying, if your husband wasn't there, then you would not be who you are today.
Yeah.
So how do you? I understand you are a good wife to your husband, but how do you manage motherhood, taking care of your kids? And I was on your status the other day. I read something that you posted, saying there is no excuse for a mom not to raise their kids by themselves. Yeah, because in our community, people say, "Oh, my uncle is rich. Let me send my kids to him because he's rich. He can take care of my kids." And those kids end up going through a lot of trauma, a lot of torture. They go through a lot that we don't see, and they can't even talk.
Yes.
So when I read that, I was like, this is a good point. But why did you make that step?
I lost my father when I was 10. So I watched a video of someone torturing his nephew or something. That video went viral on WhatsApp, and I felt hurt, and it bring me back to my childhood when I lost my father, and I had to see two of my younger sisters going to my aunts, living with my aunts, and I stayed with my mother. So despite the fact that my sister, wherever they were eating good, eating the fish and meat, which I was not able to.
Because you were with your mom?
Because I was with my mom, a widow woman. But I had the love, and it was enough. But they didn't have that love. And when I turned 14, I brought them back home. Because despite the fact that they apparently look okay, emotionally they were not. So I brought them back home. I was only 14. I'm a rebel. On appelle ça quoi? Rebelle. Je suis rebelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm someone that doesn't like when people use others. It gets me very angry. There's two type of citizen that we can become in a society if we have a childhood that did not play well.
Yes.
When you are coming from a very poor family and you are being raised with your parents in the struggle, but in love, having uncles that are rich around you, it makes you being a child that have vowed not to fail in life. Because as a child, you don't understand why a rich uncle does not help. You don't understand why after school he cannot hire you in his company.
Yes.
So when you grew up, you vowed deep inside you that I will not count on anyone to get my success, and I will make sure that I succeed. So those family members does not mock at my family, does not mock at me. Now the child that you gave away to a rich uncle or aunt out there, he suffered. They torture him emotionally. When that child grows, he don't even want to succeed in life. The
trauma.
He's betrayed because his parents left him there. It takes him time. He doesn't understand why you should give him, you should sold him to a family because you think they will take care of your child for you. He come out of that home broken. He don't even have love to give to someone. He cannot even really take good care of a wife because he did not. Nobody give him that love when he was there. So you have a broken child, and he has anger. You can't fix that. He is blind by the anger, not the success. He's not driven by the success or becoming someone. He's just angry at the society, and sometimes he turns to be angry at his own parents and his own other siblings because he grew. He wants to be apart. Even when he escaped that, he wants to live alone. He cannot connect perfectly with his sibling and the society.
Yeah.
Because he felt like when he was crying out, nobody understood his cry. A home that we struggle and we live together, we're very strong. As a sibling, we're very strong. Because we went through something together. Yes.
So sending any of your kids to live with someone is a no.
It's a no-no.
matter
After
how-
my death,
No matter
that will
how
happen.
busy, no matter how busy you get,
No.
it's a no.
No.
So there is no excuse. You think there is no excuse for anyone out there?
The love that a mother can give to a child is all they need. The love, the presence. No money replaces that. In that bond, that connection is what we're kids we grow up with. The memories is what even fix issues that we have in the future. Because it's going to be a moment where us siblings will have issues, but you will still remember those beautiful times when you share the same bed with your sister. See, what are we even fighting for?
That is very deep. Very deep. You spoke from the heart.
Yes.
Deep. So let's talk about your expansion. You know, when I got to America, I heard everyone saying that you have to get blood back home, you have to work your money and go back home. You have to. So, I mean, before coming here, I knew I was coming here to work for maybe get some money and then go back home and establish. But when I got here, after I started working, I think something changed because the conversation that I heard from people, the advice that I was getting, oh, you have to go back home and build. I thought maybe I needed to invest in myself first.
Okay.
So I differ from that idea, but I don't know what you think. But when I saw that you are investing back home, you started a poultry farm back home, and I was thinking to myself, maybe what I was thinking was correct that after you've invested in yourself, you can then go ahead to invest back home. Was that how you thought of it, or why did you decide to expand back home?
When my father died, we went back to the village. I grew up in the village and I feel very attached to that village and the people in the village. Luckily enough, I got married to a man in the same village. So we're from the same hometown. I grew up with my grandmother and she always said, ne traversez pas deux coups d'eau, vous mariez. Don't go far. She said it and she insisted because she always used the example of my father. She always remind us that if my son, if my son did not marry your mom from the same village, I will never see you guys. After the burial, she would like take my grandkids, she would like take it to her village or to the city. And then I will not only have lost my son, I will lose you too. But when I see you, I feel at peace. I cry, but I'm not going to cry much because you're there. No, let me just say that again. Come and build a house in this village, stay here and raise those kids. So me growing up, I had it in the back of my head that I can't cross and to stay home. I love home. I do want to go back home one day. And I'm a people person. Even when I go home, I don't go to Douala, I don't go to Yaoundé because I don't know those towns. I don't know the city. I grew up in home. So I grew up in the village, Benka. I go straight there when I come out of the airport. I take my car straight to the village. It's the only place that I feel safe. I really feel safe there. Like when I'm thinking of going home, I can see myself going there without hurting me because of how much I have worked that community too. I give them water. I pay sometimes school fee or other kids that I cannot afford. I even do some, when the war, Ambazonia war hits, a lot of people need to run from Bamenda. They came to my village. We give them some farm, give them some houses there. I fought for them. And they lost their birth certificate and they had to do un camp sixième BPC. We need to redo their birth certificate. Those things are helped. So I have been implicated in the community thing in my village. So every time when I think of doing something, I want to do it right there in the village. You know that I wanted to make money when I did that poultry business. I looked for a piece of land for a long time. I was ready. I couldn't find one. So when that got time happened, my husband went home and then he bought the land. He just came back and he said, I got the land. I think he's gonna do your poultry there. I think it's fine. And I asked, he told me where it was. I was excited and I launched that business. My husband was the one that bought that first portion of land. And it was not for me, because the feeling that you have helping others home, it gives you that great sense of relief. If I want to make money, I will open another shop here and there and here. I'll make the American money. We send it home, we multiply. But how much can you really make home? If you send that money back home here, it's not allowed. It's not. I just feel like let me put a business home that can help me maybe build houses that I can put to rent. I just wanted to have something that will stop me from sending money home to people too. That's nice. That was my goal, because a lot of people ask me for help and I have to keep sending money down. So let me give them a job. Stop giving fish to people.
Teach them how to
catch the fish. So when you call me now and say, va la faire me demander le travail là-bas, mais va pas appliquer un autre travail aussi là. So now we have about 65 employees.
Already.
Portrait. We have 2 portraits. We have 49,000 sujets dans les
yes. That's nice. And I see it already making eggs.
Yes, they are.
That's nice. That's a lot of employment.
Yes.
You put food on a lot of tables. Thank you. Thank you. That's real being a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And a role model for a lot of young girls out there. So if you were to advise your younger self, right? Like if you were to talk to Nadine when she was 14 years old, will you have said something different? Or will you still say the same things that you taught? Or will you want to still be the same Nadine now? Or will you advise the Nadine 14 years back something different?
I just think that who I have become is what life threw at me when I grew up. I had a very difficult childhood, being an orphan and the first child of the family. And my father, before he left this world, he told my cousin that tell Nadine to take care of her sister. That was very powerful. As I was growing up, that sentence was strong. You don't understand. I was only 10. And he made me grow up fast. He made me a mom. He told me, oh, you're now their father. You're now their mom. You have to protect them. Tell Nadine to take care of her sister. Tell her not to beat them because I need to beat my sister. Yes. Like I told you, I said, come and sit down. Let me do your hair. You don't want it to beat you. So growing up, I was already aware of not making a mistake because my mistake was going to cost the future of my sibling. And my mom kept reminding me, if you fail, they all will fail. They're looking up to you. And I did not enjoy my youth age, going to the club, doing things that people from my age was doing. Why? Because sometimes I didn't even have the dress to wear to go to a party. I didn't. My mother, when she was able to get us 1 shoes, if you are wearing size 10, you better buy 11.
So that you grow in.
So that you wear for 9 months.
I have a brother who is listening to this. If he's listening to this, he's going to say Koso Kwenga. They gave him a name, and I think in Meta it means take and grow inside. So Koso Kwenga. They buy him his shoes is always about 2 sizes bigger than his legs so that he grows in it.
Everybody was like that. She said, just get a tennis shoes. Pas de ballet, tennis. So that same shoes you would do EPS, you would do exercise for that same shoe. It was one shoes for 6 children, 1 shoe. Everybody has one.
1 pair.
1 pair. I remember when I was growing, when you start being a woman and then you start feeling like the boys are looking at you, then you realize that, oh, they will be laughing at me that I only have 1 pair of shoes. I will wake up very early, 5 a.m. I'll be on the road, quick with my sister, alone, quick. So nobody see us going to school. We get to school, we see. Even when you want to go to the bathroom, you will not. Because by the moment you get up, encore la même chaussure, toujours la même chaussure, and deep inside you, it's like you're crying and nobody listens to you. Like you want someone to understand that it's not my fault.
It's not your fault.
Why are you laughing at me? And there was this game that they were playing in school, not even knowing you were bullying people.
Yeah.
They would say when there's no, there's this time in class that they call heure de récréation, permanence, 1 hour, 1 hour that there's no teacher.
Yeah.
So girls will get up with boys, they will sit down and they will be like, oh, quand on connaît des gens qui vont réussir dans la vie, on connaît. They will point people, they will skip you.
So you're not going to make it. You're not make it.
Yeah, but they don't know what they're doing. They'll be making you strong.
Of course.
Challenges make you strong. When you say no to somebody, you're doing them a favor. Because then you're telling them, go and fish. Go and fish for yourself. Don't wait for me to give you. All those kids that were depending on their parents and they knew that, oh, my uncle is well placed in the government. When I get my this, I'll just get this. They're not doing nothing today. But we that understood that we have nobody,
we had to fight.
We fought. And today we are proud of who we have become. I have hustled since I was